Welcome to another edition of Loyal to the E, presented by the Sports Hitlist, by the fans and for the fans. I'm your host, Carl Coulange, alongside Mike. Mike, how you doing, man? How was your spring break?
Same old.
Was good?
No difference.
Yeah, I was down in South Beach, which they had a little conflict of curfew, so we were restricted on going to certain places, but it still ended up working out that we had a good time.
Well, that's a good time. That's a good thing to know, Florida.
Yeah,
it's
man.
a nice
Listen,
place that I've never been to.
The road to WrestleMania officially begins this week. How excited are you for the main show?
What do you mean the road to WrestleMania?
I mean, this is it. This is it. This is what I mean by this is it. So I'm pretty excited.
It's weird because usually I get really excited for it, and then it's all cool. But I don't know, the build-up has just been so lackluster, that it's just, to me, it kind of feels like another pay-per-view.
You know what? We're going to get into it later on in the show, but first we want to start off with the announcement of Triple H.
Yes.
Triple H announced that he is retiring from in-ring competition due to his injury, having his heart issues. Triple H, in the wrestling industry as a professional wrestler, we remember him starting off as Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That was his first character. He was amazing at what he did.
Actually, he was terrorizing.
In WWE. In WWE, when he started, he was
yes.
the Connecticut Blue Blood. That's what I remember watching him of. Clearly in WCW, he started off as terrorizing, but in WWE, he was a Connecticut Blue Blood. He had the McMahon-Helmsley era storyline. Founding father of Degeneration X. We can't seem to forget that. Another founding father of the group Evolution, with him, Ric Flair, Batista, Randy Orton. So his resume, tremendous as an in-ring competitor, now and then moving on to corporate. What are your fondest memories of Triple H, you'd say?
The fondest memories? Oh, man, there's just so many. The thing about him is that he's just so, he gets it. He just gets it as a professional wrestler, what it takes to be marketable and what it takes to really make an impression on the people. I don't know if you did this, but when I was a kid, I would always spit out water.
Of course. That's just the traditional Triple H. That's the segue for Triple H.
So to just remember him doing that, I would love to do that. And but not just that, but the whole Shawn Michaels thing, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Him and DX, so funny and just so genuinely, you could tell that he was having a good time. His matches were great. I know there's going to be like Bret Hart and all that who say, oh, there's nothing special about him. Hey, listen, go watch Taker. And
I mean, some people may not realize, historians will know, he had 3 matches with Taker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He had WrestleMania 17, 28,
29?
29,
28.
No, I think it was 27, 28.
Yes.
Yeah, 27, 28, because 29, Triple H faced Brock. But his entire career, like I said, his WWE career, I remember when he started out. And remember Triple H took the fall, like the curtain call at Madison Square Garden, where he took a fall for that. A member of the Clique. For those who know, he was a member of the Clique because he didn't drink. So he was their designated driver. That was his role in the Clique.
It's interesting.
Backstage, right? But just seeing, and there's a lot of politics with Triple H because, he ended up marrying the boss's daughter. So a lot of people are kind of like, what were really your incentives as being in the position that he's in now? Like the way he worked himself up into corporate as the COO of the company and also getting NXT. As far as an in-ring competitor, again, the cerebral assassin, Triple H, The Game, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, all of that, like the sledgehammer. We all remember. One of my favorite memories is when he came back at the Garden after he tore his quad the first time back in 2001, I believe it was, right?
Right.
And then he comes back at January at the Garden in 2002. Him and Shawn Michaels resurrecting Degeneration X.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off right there, but
no, go ahead.
You talk about him and Shawn Michaels, with DX. He is, you could say, is really responsible for Shawn Michaels coming back into the business. Think about that. 2002, he was out. Who was the first guy you worked with?
Yes, that match actually was at SummerSlam 2002 in Uniondale.
And then they went on to Hell in a Cell, and then they finished the year off. It's like he also helped out his good friend get back into the business.
Of course, absolutely. So I think, and people forget when the Attitude Era began, it began with DX. It began with Triple H and Shawn. They were a big part of that. So I think, having Triple H, as he was one of the, ring generals. Undertaker says he's one of the in-ring generals that you can legit work with. But again, there's a lot of backstage politics behind certain things that Triple H did as far as holding guys down. I know some people talk about him holding Chris Jericho down. Rob Van Dam, Booker T, there have been instances where Triple H behind stage they're saying like he doesn't want people having the same color tights as he did. So there's a lot of, again, backstage politics, but what we see on camera as far as cutting the promos, the sell jobs, his in-ring ability, it goes beyond the character behind scenes. Backstage.
I mean, there's no better way of putting it. He's an icon in the ring. And the fact that, he's retiring from in-ring competition, a lot of people will say, oh, this is sad and whatnot. I think it's for the best, really. I remember watching him against Batista. Man, he looked extremely winded.
Back in 2019, right?
Yeah, even though he's in amazing shape, he looked extremely winded. So I think at a certain point, professional wrestler's heart can only take so much. You know what I mean? So it's for the best, and I'm glad that he built the legacy that he did, and now, move on strictly into the corporate side of things.
Yeah, it definitely will miss his in-ring ability. Triple H, thank you for entertaining us for all these years, over 20 plus years in the ring. It's been great stuff to see you. One of the other memories I have was, I was talking to you guys about this earlier, from WrestleMania 31 when you had him versus Sting. I know people didn't like the outcome of that, but just to have that culmination of the Monday Night Wars, you get NWO and DX in the same ring, I thought was great booking. Triple H, being able to put Daniel Bryan over. Triple H put over a lot of guys too. I know they talk
Batista.
about his championship runs. He put over Batista.
Cena.
He put over Cena. He put over Daniel Bryan during the Yes Movement back in 2014. So thank you. I can't thank you, Jean-Paul Levesque.
Hope he's
AKA
watching this.
Triple H. Let's send it to him. Let's send him an email with our content. So
we love it.
we're going to take our first commercial break. You're watching Loyal to the E here on the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. We'll be right back.
The Sports Hit List is getting a much needed facelift. No longer the days of the immature outlaw ducking and hiding from challenges. As a matter of fact, we accept your challenge to appear on Loyal to the E in May, but it's going to be on our terms. Carl, I hope that check cleared, because if you need a better co-host, call the injection. I'll see you, Carl, in May, and I'll see the moron as well.
That? And why is he calling
That's
himself?
your fault.
Why is he calling himself a moron?
That's your fault. You know that, right?
But why is he calling?
But that's your fault, because 2 weeks ago, you decided to go rogue, and that's
Yes,
your fault. Yeah, that's
I did.
That whole promo is you.
I'm glad
That's
they're
not
coming
me.
back, but why is Zach, a guy with such confidence, calling himself a moron?
I think he was calling you a moron. He wasn't
Calling me a moron?
No.
Dude, he was pointing at himself. You can look back at the video. We can,
All I'm
further
saying is
circle
they
around
show
it. He was
up. That's
pointing at
not me.
himself.
That's you. That's on you. 'cause
Okay,
I had
that's
nothing to
cool.
do
Let's
with
do it. Hey, you guys are ready.
I'm
ready.
Listen, I don't know what that was about, but we know there's a problem with the other show on our brand, Injection. I guess Pro Wrestling Injection has problems with Mike.
You know
They have
what?
a problem with me.
That's
They
kind
have
of-
a problem with Mike,
I'm
not
kind
me.
of offended now.
Why?
Because unexpectedly, he interrupts this show.
But you talked about him 2 weeks ago.
But when do we interrupt their thing? Do you interrupt it?
The only thing I'll say is
mean-
sometimes I'm in their comments. That's it.
You're in their comments, but do you by any chance, go on your Zoom and try to hack their thing?
No, not at all.
Isn't that a little bit disrespectful? I mean,
A little bit, but
That's all
in
right.
WWE
You guys made this personal now. Okay.
In WWE news, Warrior Award is being presented to Shad Gaspard, who passed away, I believe, 2 years ago in 2020. Saving his son, a rip current hit him while I believe he was surfing with his son in California. Well deserved for Shad Gaspard. Condolences to him and his family, and I know there have been a lot of people on social media, advocating for him to get the award. So congratulations to him. Well deserved, and a
Very
sad
well
way to
deserved.
go out too.
Very well deserved.
Oh, it's happening to you too, right? See,
This is
IFB situation.
this is just a
never
battle.
seems to
This is
amaze
the
me.
battle.
It always happens, right? We need to find a way to fix it. I think mine's about to fall out right now.
Yes, Elon Musk, please stop worrying about rocket ships and start worrying about IFBs.
But again, WWE Warrior Award. We also have the Steiner Brothers are receiving the WWE Hall of Fame induction for 2022, adding to the class. I'm pretty surprised at this pick because I know how Scott Steiner has talked about the Hall of Fame, about how he would never want to receive it. So I'm curious to see if he actually shows up and how he handles the whole entire induction. Rick, I'm sure Rick doesn't have a problem, but Scott, I don't know if you've seen him on social media about it.
Yeah,
He's been pretty big about how he if there's no physical Hall of Fame, it doesn't exist. And how I don't think he ever wanted it.
We were talking about Triple H earlier, right? I believe him and Triple H had a bit of a beef in 2013.
Did they really? Oh, when he
2013,
2003. Yeah. When he came back as Big Papa Pump, right?
Maybe that might have caused the bit of a rift between them.
Right, possibly. But I think, like I said, the whole entire dynamic is pretty interesting to see how who's going to.
But
is he going to show up to the induction?
You know what? I think who's very instrumental in this is Braun Breaker. Okay, I have a feeling that they're treating his son like not his son, sorry,
Rick's son.
Rick's son,
nephew,
his nephew, as the future of the WWE. So like, you take a look at Scott's run. They didn't treat him like he was going to be the next world champion. They're treating Braun like he is the next guy.
Well, you know what? Scott's primetime run was in WCW. It really wasn't in WWE though. Like his as a tag team, but and there were tag team champions in other promotions. But when he went singles and he became Holla If You Hear Me, Big Papa Pump, that was during the mid of the WCW era. It really wasn't. Like by the time he came to WWE in 2003, I think he was faded at that point.
Maybe he got a little offended at the fact that Triple H didn't want to give him a world title, or
who knows?
Who could be? But listen, Braun
But
Breaker,
congratulations to the Steiner Brothers. I think, again, well-deserved on their part to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. In other WWE news, I know Mike wanted to touch upon William Regal, and I think an article came out about his injuries and what he suffered from. Mike, take us through that.
Yeah, so apparently, again, I know people are going to call me out about this, but this idiotic reporter known as Dave Meltzer apparently went on record saying that William Regal went on Chris Talkis Jericho and said that he was living on some kind of borrowed time or whatnot. No, he was just talking about his past health issues. So apparently, okay, and you tell me, can you imagine if somebody called you, a doctor called you and said, you might have 24 hours to live because of your heart? I mean, it'd be shocking, right? So,
I don't know how to react to that, honestly.
Exactly.
I'd be devastated, but I also try to live my best life.
That's why I wanted to. That's why I wanted to. That's why I wanted to talk.
No bad jujus, please.
That's why I wanted. No, but that's why. But that's why I wanted to talk about this, because it's insane what he had to go through within those couple of months. Okay, open heart surgery. By the way, an NXT Blackpool is going to come up. So you have that open, and not to mention his heart. Apparently, if you read the article, it's very interesting. Or if you listen to Talk to Jericho, his heart was so bad that they really did think he was not going to live long. But he got the open heart surgery and is still with us. But then there's another thing that happened to him. Apparently, his leg almost got amputated.
Yeah, once you sent it to me, I was kind of just, it was heartbreaking to read it. But these wrestlers, it goes to the point of these wrestlers go through a lot. And there's a lot of times where they go through these, injuries, that nagging injuries over and over and over again that never really highlighted and people talk about. It can either make or break their career. I mean, I don't believe Regal's been in the ring for years.
But this is an interesting part. This is where, everything comes in circle. I was reading the article. They thought that they were going to have to amputate his leg. Had it not been for the doctor's wife, then we would have, Regal with just one leg, which is insane. So just think about that. Think about the events that somebody went through. Can you imagine if you would have been like, wait a minute, they probably could have saved my leg, but nobody told the other guy a second opinion. It's an interesting article. It's an interesting listen to on Talk is Jericho, but it's definitely very eye-opening.
Did you listen to it on Talk is Jericho yet or no?
I read the article about it. But yeah, no, it's definitely very eye-opening, and it makes you really want to look at Regal, not just respect him as an in-ring guy, but also respect him as a human being, because it's like, wow.
He's a fan favorite. He's a fan favorite too, honestly. I mean, I think he has a great mind when it comes to the wrestling business that a lot of people don't have. And I know when he was doing his work in NXT, he was doing great work, which is a lot of fans were disappointed when they found out that he got cut, and now he's in AEW. So congratulations to him on the new venture, and God bless that he's okay, because we know,
for sure,
like I said, these wrestlers, true diehard fans understand, and we appreciate like, yeah, we criticize them, but we really do appreciate all that they do to keep us entertained. So thank you, William Regal. Same thing for Triple H, like I said before.
Yeah.
So we're going to take our final commercial break, and we'll be right back to discuss our favorite past wrestlers. Everyone has a price. We'll be right back. I said to myself, wait a minute, I learned everything that ESPN is doing. I was on air, I know how to edit. Why not just put a show on together with my friends that I'm always debating with? Who are your top 4 centers in NBA history all time?
Damn, you're putting me on the spot.
Absolutely.
I know we said no honorary mentions, but the one honorary mention I'm going to give is to Wilt Chamberlain. He was a 2-time NBA champion. He was a 1-time Finals MVP, 4-time MVP, 13-time All-Star.
Travis, who's now flipping to Patrick Mahomes' argument.
Come on, man.
Travis
don't
is
do that, man.
Yeah, I got to call you out. I'm sorry.
These are my goats. So, starting off, I'm going with The Miz. In my opinion, I think.
I'm out of here.
In my opinion, I think.
Carl, control your man.
Can we listen? Can we speak? Can I speak? Can we listen? Can I speak?
Back here on Loyal to the E. In the sports hit list streets, it is Throwback Week. So there's been a lot of discussion about throwbacks and living that nostalgic moment. Those who know me know I love living in the 90s. It was the greatest era ever, even in the early 2000s. So we figured we'd have a Throwback Week in the sports hit list. Mike, let me ask you, who is your favorite past wrestler all time that you kind of takes you back in that moment?
Yeah, when I grew up as a kid, I even had his towel. Batista.
Batista.
Dave Batista. He's the reason I went to go watch the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was it about Batista that kind of drew you in?
I don't know what it was, dude. It's just because, I'm guessing because he was just built up as an animal, you know? That's all that happened, and he legitimately went out there and acted like an animal. The thing that I always remember that really got me into Batista was when, they promoted that him and Mark Henry were going to have a confrontation back in 2006. Mark Henry came out, and he's like, I'm going to take you out, or I'm going to take you out. No, you know what? I'm gonna take my time. I'll say when I'm going to take you out. Next thing we know, Batista comes right out and starts attacking him nonstop like a savage, and then just starts slamming him with the chair. It's like, that's the animal right there. And then he yells at the top of his lungs, like, ah, you know what I mean? Like, dude, that is the moment where I was hooked. I'm like, this guy is awesome. And back in the day, it was always Batista versus Cena. I remember a lot of the kids that I went to school with, they were on Batista because SmackDown was just a better show. And the world heavyweight title around him, I mean, it made sense, right? To have him carry the world title. I don't know what it was, but it made sense.
I think for me, Batista,
awesome.
Two things with Batista that stand out to me. His entrance was always great.
Of course.
Like there are times where you remember when you talk about
yeah, I
doing
did
Triple
that
H
all
at
the
home.
time.
But Batista's entrance, when he comes out, I'm literally doing it with him. It's just like, you know it. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, pops on his chest, and then boom, right? So his entrance to me, and if you see his entrance live, it's probably the best.
Even the ring
ever.
ropes.
Yeah, hitting the ring ropes is probably the best thing ever. That's one. And heel Batista in 2010 for me was probably one of his best runs, where him with the spotlight, duct tape. Yeah,
Give me what I want.
Give me what I want, and then the whole I quit thing. When he quit in 2014, was it 14 or 15 when he
2014.
left? 14 again. So and he goes like this. I thought, that was great Batista. Earlier on, I thought he kind of struggled a little bit with the mic when he was a face, but when he went heel, I think he went heel on Rey Mysterio, and he was like, "You're supposed to be my friend," and he was choking him out, kind of thing. I thought that was prime, very good Batista. So I thought he definitely had a great run. Yeah, he was good. But my favorite wrestler,
Everybody's got a
on
prize.
my T-shirt. Everyone has a prize for the $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase is one of my favorite wrestlers. Never won a world championship. I think he was completely underrated as a wrestler. Great on the mic, and his vignettes were just
Top of the
amazing.
line.
Like, just amazing. Like, I remember there was a promo he cut one time where he made a kid bounce a ball, and he told him if he bounced it 100 times or 50 times, he'd give him $100, right? And then towards the end of the promo, he kicks the ball, and the kid never made it. And the kid goes, like, really sad and crying if you go back and watch it. But that's classic heel work, right? Him being Stone Cold Steve Austin's first manager and introducing him as the ringmaster.
He helped Taker too.
Right, you know, so having Virgil as his assistant,
Fortunate
always
Virgil.
having and shoving the $100 bill in people's mouths. Money Inc. with IRS, right?
Yeah.
So
Kind of ironic, don't you think?
no, listen, but then his son ends up becoming a wrestler too.
Yeah.
But I don't think people appreciate Ted DiBiase enough for what he was able to do during those early years. And I thought just his whole laugh, his whole him coming to the ring and the poise, the swagger that he had as a wrestler for me was what was amazing. Again, just having the bow tie and having the money symbol everywhere,
The belt.
having the $1 million championship.
Great,
That's
made his own
classic
belt.
stuff. Yeah, he made his own championship belt. Like, that's classic $1 Million Man. He was never a WWE champion. I think he should have been a WWE champion, but the fact that he never won, he was able to create his own belt. Like, I don't think everybody else has a reinvention of their title, but he literally created his own
belt.
Yeah. If I had to pick another belt, like, I know my next championship belt, I told you guys I'm getting the IC championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I ever go for a third belt, I think the money championship belt was definitely be on
$1 million championship.
Yeah, $1 Million championship will definitely be on my radar. So those are our two superstars that we have for Throwback Week here on the Sports Hit List. It is WrestleMania weekend. We do have some pre-shows this weekend. Mike said he's not excited for it. He thinks it's a glorified.
It's not that, no, wait. It's not that I'm not excited for it. It's just that I'm not excited as I would usually be for a Mania. I'm still excited, but not as excited, if that makes any sense.
Because you believe it's like a glorified Raw, right?
No. You sounded like a certain other person.
No, I'm trying to understand your
I'm
perspective.
not saying. I never said glorified Raw.
What did you say? But you did say it sounds like a regular show.
No. I didn't say it sounded like a regular show. I said it sounds like a regular pay-per-view.
Regular pay-per-view.
It's starting to sound like a regular pay-per-view.
Okay.
Rather than the grand spectacle, stupendous, WrestleMania, because of the build-up.
Right.
But I mean, I think that's what it was ultimately for me. That's making it feel like another
At the end
pay-per-view.
of the day, I know maybe I'm just biased, but I always look forward to WrestleMania weekend. Hall of Fame, I think the Hall of Fame's a little weak. I could see why people are not excited because it's 2 days and you can't make everybody happy because coming out of WrestleMania in 2019, what was that, 36 or 35, right?
Mm-hmm.
People complained when it was in New York, the one that you went to, the one we got tickets for. People complained that it was too long. It was like a 7-hour show and people didn't get home till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
I skipped the women's match and I got so much heat for that.
Right, the main event, yeah.
Well, not by the people, in the stadium, but by individuals in the hit list. I'm just
but
calling it
that's hard
sexist
to-
and all that crap.
No, but listen, but that's hard to understand. Like, I understand why you had to leave, but that was part of the complaint, right? That WrestleMania was too long.
Yes.
So now they decided they're going to do 2 days, and now people are like, well, that's still no. So then what
do you
the-
want?
Yeah, what's the solution? At the end of the day, I think people are still going to watch. The cards, both nights are stacked, but I think we're looking forward to we're looking forward to Saturday night more so towards Sunday night.
Are you really?
Well,
what is it about
no,
Saturday?
I think, no,
no, go ahead, tell me.
Well,
I want to hear your reasoning.
Well, Saturday clearly is Seth versus
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. Well, we know that's coming, right? So just to see Cody back and see the element of that, I think I'm pretty excited for. I think that's what Sunday I'm excited for because I really want to see how the Universal and the WWE Championship unification match is booked. I want to see. Again, I'm going to reveal my predictions over the weekend on our live shows,
Yes.
but I want to see how that goes down. That's why I'm not going to go dive in deep into each card because we're having 2 pre-shows on Saturday. We're having a pre-show on Saturday, a post-show, and we're having a pre-show on Sunday, and a post-show on Sunday. So 4 shows
Wait,
in
hold on
2
a
days.
second.
Say it again. Okay. Pre-show Saturday before WrestleMania Saturday night, then a post-show. Sunday, pre-show, Sunday, post-show.
Yes, there we
So
go.
before and after the WrestleMania, both nights, we'll have live coverage of the Sports Hit List. So please make sure you tune in with us. We're also trying to work on a Final Four special. Please make sure you tune into that. And also we have more Hit List content. Please make sure you check out. We're going to give you guys the rundown now of the Hit List content for those of you who may want to know. Following this show, 5:30, Chirp and Chat with our technical director right now, Mr. Ryan Forte. Then we have the Fan Zone with Mike and Manny. I believe Ryan is a special guest tonight at 7 o'clock on that show. Tomorrow we have Sports Mania at 4 o'clock with Andres and Jordan. I will go live at 7 o'clock for On the Court. Then we have Pro Wrestling Injection with Zach, Nick, and Christian.
And the morons.
Following that goes on. See, you throwing me off. That goes on at 10 o'clock following AEW Dynamite. On Thursday, we have the roster at 7:30. And we also have the B Show, the first lady, the only lady on the Sports Hit List streets, my wife, the lovely Mrs. Deborah Voltaire Coulange with the B Show. And then Monday, we're back for Smoke and Mirrors. And that gives you the Hit List rundown. Like, share, comment, subscribe to all Sports Hit List content. Let me give a shout out to my crew right now. We got Denise behind the camera. We got Mario doing behind the scenes also on camera. Jared on 3Play. Cammy, congratulations on that Excellence Award. I'm drawing a blank on it, but I know you got it. A scholarship award you got.
Let's keep it going.
We got Jasmine Frederic, also associate producer on the Sports Hit List. Coming soon, documentary Master Joe. She's directing this right now. Ryan Forte doing a great job, and we have Jared. James on audio. So special shout out to the Hit List crew and everyone who's working behind the scenes. I definitely appreciate it.
This is not over.
Like, share, comment,
One
subscribe.
second.
Oh, it's not. Oh, here we go.
Give me
again.
just one
oh
sec.
My God.
Don't worry. I'm not going to get out of the seat.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Here we go.
No, I just want to make one thing clear. No, I want to make one thing clear, and that's it. Okay, there was a certain individual last night who saw Monday Night Raw. Wait, hold on a second. There was a certain individual who saw Monday Night Raw last night and said, "Oh, I hate DQ endings. I hate DQ endings. I hate DQ endings." Listen, no, wait, hold on a second.
No,
I hate DQ endings. Enough with the DQ endings. Look, it's the WWE. If you want to continue to complain all you want. Wait a minute. It's not even. I'm not even gonna go. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna. Okay. I'll just put. Okay. Let me. You know what? Fine. I'll sign off. Okay. Enough people. Okay. I'm gonna put his name. Christian. You're the guy who keeps complaining. Enough with the complaining. Okay. Please. We don't complain about moronic AEW. Well, I can't say the word because it's a PG show. But nevertheless, my host just left, meaning the plans are out of the table. So thank you for watching Loyal to the E. I've been Mike Murillo. This guy just left me hanging because he thought I was going to go on a whole rant. Until next week, enjoy WrestleMania.